My dreams are nightmares. How can I sleep? You got the gun against me.
What's going on, everybody? KingofDragons 5000 here, coming at you with another figure review. Today we'll be having a look at the Figma Kid Icarus Uprising Dark Pit. And so here we have Dark Pit pose and out of the packaging. Before we take a look at the figure, let's actually run through his accessories really fast. Dark Pit does come with two different facial options. We do get a neutral expression when he's looking off to the left. We also do get a yelling expression. Dark Pit also comes with a pair of fists. We get a pair of style pose hands. We get a pair of grip hands. We get a right hand for holding the arrow. And then we get a right hand for holding the Dark Pit staff. He of course does come with his silver bow, which looks really nice. I do like the detailing on it, and it does have an option to detach and have the two swords, which I really love that option. He also does come with an arrow, which does fit in his arrow holding hand. And then finally he comes with the Dark Pit staff, which looks really nice. I do like the detailing on it. Other than that, no other accessories with Dark Pit. A missed opportunity not to give him another expression when he is looking forward with a smirk on his face. I think that would really make this figure pop. But overall, still liking the accessories. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually move on to his details. And so here we have a closer look at Dark Pit, and once again Figma has done a really good job capturing the look of the character from his Kid Icarus Uprising appearance. Really loving the face. That's a really nice rendition of Dark Pit. Now, I'm not going to go too much into detail because he is, for the most part, a 98% reuse of Pit. Now, that's not a bad thing because in-game they are essentially the exact same body, same design, just that Dark Pit is a little more sinister in personality, and of course he is wearing black instead of white. So having a look at Dark Pit, I do love his eyes, just those purple eyes glaring at you. It does create a really nice look. I don't know why they didn't include a smirking face with Dark Pit, maybe a smirk looking off to the right, because they do have the smile expression for Pit, and that would have been a very easy reuse here. Really do like the ivy right here on his crown right here. Crown? Is it a crown? I have no idea what this would actually be called. His headdress. We'll just call it a headdress. And of course he does have the shaggy hair just like Pit. But overall, the body and proportions are the exact same as Pit, and that's not a bad thing. I really did like Pit, and Dark Pit here is no exception. Now, one thing to note, just like with Pit, his scarf piece does seem like it's a different shade than the actual color. Now, I don't know if that's completely accurate. I did say that it wasn't on Pit, but then I second guessed myself. I'll have to go back and double check, but I'm almost certain that his scarf piece is the same color as his robe. So like it should be this same purple right there. I might be wrong, but I'm almost 100% sure that all this should match the same color, which it ironically matches his hair. The brooch on Dark Pit is purple and gold, and that's one thing you'll know on Dark Pit is that his color scheme is more dark colors. The really nice deep shade of purple. He still has the black undershirt that Pit has. We have the same armband here on the side. Same gauntlets that Pit had with the exact same ports for the halo effects, which if you really wanted to, Dark Pit can have the halo effects too. One thing I did notice about the hands is that where Pit actually has a cover on his hands, which I still have one of his hands right here, Dark Pit doesn't have any coverings there, so that is a minor difference between the two. Dark Pit does not have any hands that have this particular covering on them, so that is one difference between the two figures. His wings, just like Pit's, are nicely detailed. The feathers are sculpted really cartoony, but that's how they looked in Kid Icarus Uprising. Really do like it. And then again in the back they have that really cartoony look where it's just the bottom of the wing that shows, and I really like the shade of his wings. They're not black, they're like a really dark gray blue, and that works perfectly for the figure. His belt is purple with gold. Unlike Pit that has three colors where it was purple, gold, or brown, gold, and silver, Dark Pit's is just purple and gold, and that goes all the way around. On the back we do have a little bit of color difference here. We have that same gray that we see in his wings right on the back, and of course a porthole for his Figma stand. Then on his robes, a completely different design from Pit. Really do like that there's some differences in their costume, even if it's just aesthetics. Really do like that. And then going down to his legs, they're the exact same legs as Pit. The wrapping, the buckles, everything about it is the same. So there is no difference in the feet. And I did mention on the feet that he does have his toenails painted, or not painted, but sculpted on. And something I failed to mention on Pit is his fingernails are also sculpted on. So both of them have sculpted fingernails and sculpted toenails, which is something you really don't expect out of companies. But overall, Dark Pit here looks the part, and I really do like how he came out. I just kind of wish that he had a little more personality to him. He kind of feels a little generic, and I don't like it, but I still love the way he came out. There's a lot of things to like about this figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get Dark Pit posed with other figures so you can compare how he looks in your collection. And so here we have Dark Pit posed next to a Marvel Legends Cyclops and a DC Multiverse Superman. Here we do have Dark Pit posed next to a WWE Elite Collection figure and a Mezco 112 Collective Popeye the Sailor Man. Here we have Dark Pit posed next to a Lightning Collection White Ranger and a Star Wars Black Series Mandalorian. Here we have Dark Pit posed next to an SH Figure Art Super Mario and a Figma Twilight Princess Link. And finally, here we do have Dark Pit posed next to the Figma Kid Icarus Uprising Pit. So with the comparisons out of the way, let's actually move on to Dark Pit's articulation. Now he does share the exact same mold as Pit, so the articulation is the exact same. We do have a Figma hinge which does let him look up and down, does turn his head side to side really nicely, and does turn left and right. We have that same ball joint in the shoulder, which is pretty recessed, which does pivot forward and back, up and down a little. Arm does go all the way out to the side. Does a full 360 if you really wanted to. You just gotta be aware of his wing position. We do have a swivel up here at the shoulder. Single bend at the elbow. As you can see, it still goes 90 degrees with rotation at the elbow as well. We do have a ball joint here at the wrist, so we do have in and out movement, swivels up and down all the way around, and it is a ball joint, it's not a ball hinge, so it just moves freely on that ball joint. Wings, just like Pit's, do peg into his back, so we do have this flapping motion going forward and back, does go up and down. We do have a pin going into the wing, which does let it move this way, and then of course it does bend inward, so you can create a flapping or wing shield, which looks really good. We have a ball joint here at the torso, which does lean back to about that far, does lean forward to about that far, though mine's a little bit, okay, there we go, it's finally going. Side to side movement for rotation works fine. We do have a ball joint here at the waist, which does move around really nicely. It does pivot side to side, forward and back, so that does help with posing. Legs are on ball joints that do go out to the side. Would go all the way out if it wasn't for his robes right there. They do kick forward or all the way horizontally, so that is pretty good. They do kick back as well. Thigh swivel up high. Single bend at the knee. Unfortunately, only 90 degrees because of how his anatomy is. Does pivot or rotate here at the top of the knee. Does have a hinge in the foot, which goes back, forward facing pin for rocker ankle, and of course rotates at that ankle, so pretty decent articulation at the feet and no toe hinge. So overall, this does work for Dark Pit. I just wish he had a little more abdomen articulation, same with Pit, but overall, really nice looking figure. So with that out of the way, guys, let's actually get him posed for my final thoughts, and then we'll wrap up this review. And so here we have the Figma Kid Icarus Uprising Dark Pit pose. For my final thoughts, and overall Dark Pit here is a really good figure. Now I know he is basically just a remold of the Figma Pit figure. That's not giving this figure enough credit. Dark Pit here is a fantastic figure in his own right. Though he does come with very similar accessories, I do feel like Dark Pit here is a very nice looking figure and a really good contrast to the Figma Pit. I do like the fact that he does come with the silver bow, which is a completely different color than the Palutena bow, and then he also does come with the Dark Pit staff, which I think is a really nice little accessory. I am glad that they included that with him. So overall, Dark Pit here is a really nice addition to any Figma or Nintendo collector, because he is a very interesting character, especially in Kid Icarus Uprising. I do like the detailing on both him and Pit, and they did a fantastic job making them different characters, despite the fact them using the exact same mold. I think Dark Pit here has a lot of attitude, especially with his main face where he's looking off to the side with that stern expression. That's something I really would have loved to see on Pit as well, but I think as far as accessories goes, they got it right with Dark Pit. I think him with a smirking expression would have made this figure just a little bit better, but overall, I'm really happy with Dark Pit. Now, Dark Pit here is still available on sites like Big Bad Toy Store, which unfortunately I didn't get mine from Big Bad Toy Store. I did order my Dark Pit directly from Good Smile Company, and it did run me about $80. If you were lucky enough to get them from Good Smile Company, he will rerunning you at about $80, so about $90 after shipping and taxes. If you get them from somewhere else, you are looking to pay an upwards of $110 and $120 from sites like Big Bad Toy Store, which if you haven't already got this figure in your collection, you're going to want to have them in your display. If you're a fan of Smash Brothers like I am, Dark Pit is a really nice character to have. If you're a fan of Kid Icarus or Kid Icarus Uprising, Dark Pit here will look perfect right next to Pit. And my one and only gripe is that Figma never released a Palutena. If they released Palutena, I would snatch her up, no questions asked. But as far as these two characters go, Pit and Dark Pit are must-have for your collection. With that being said, guys, I'm KingofDragons 5000. Don't forget to like this video, leave a comment, subscribe to my channel, go check out all my other action figure reviews, as well as all my other Figma, Nintendo, and import style videos. Hopefully you find them informative. As always, if there's a figure you would like to see me review, let me know down in the comment, and if it fits in my collection, I'll gladly have a look at it. While you're at it, check out my Instagram account for new and exciting action figure photos, and as always, ring that bell to be notified every time I upload a video. Until next time, guys, I'll see you later. Take care, everyone.